"Dad, it's dark outside." Lily said nervously as she tugged on my shirt. Without looking at her, I just scoffed. It's the middle of February. Of course it's dark in the morning. "No, that's not what I mean. Just look," she said, pulling my arm. I looked up from my math book and took a peek at the window. It was pitch black, as if the world had simply been erased. Not even a single silhouette greeted us from outside. It aroused a weird sensation in my head, as if my thoughts were being emptied forcefully. A second later, I just had to look away. "What the fuck?" I muttered a bit too loud, garnering the attention of our teacher. "Daniel, what did you just say?" Mr. Crawford asked sternly. "Outside, it's dark," I stuttered. Mr. Crawford took a look at the window. After a few seconds, his angry face turned to one of total apathy. "It's beautiful," he said without the faintest hint of emotion in his voice. "Beautiful? What are you?" Lily tried to interject. "That's enough. You're going to principal's office," Mr. Crawford ordered. "For what? Don't you see that the word is literally gone?" I shouted. "You too, principal's office, now," he responded, still motionless. Since the other students kept quiet, we didn't argue any further. Confused and afraid, we made our way to the office. The hallways were dark and quiet. Only a few students were wandering through them, none speaking a single word. The place, that was one full of chatter and gossip, had turned to a graveyard. One of my friends walked by without even greeting me. "Hey, Fred, do you know what's going on?" He turned to look at me. His face appeared rid of emotion, just like Mr. Crawford. I looked outside. It was beautiful. Then he turned around and left. "What the hell is happening?" Lily asked with a shaky voice. "I don't know. Maybe the principal can help us," I suggested. We knocked on his door and waited to be called in. He told Lily to enter first, and I had to remain outside. While I sat there, another student popped around the corner. It was Marcus, a quiet, athletic senior. "Don't go in there," he whispered. "It already got him." "What? What do you mean?" I asked. "The dark. It changed people. It already got the principal and most of the teachers." "Fuck. Lily just went in there," I said as I got up from my seat, ready to barge inside the office. "Forget it. She's done for. You gotta come with me," he said. "No, I'm not leaving her." I tried to argue before he grabbed me, but being far larger than me, he pulled me away with little effort. As he dragged me out of sight, the door of principal's office opened and Lily walked out. The principal called my name, but quickly ducked back inside his office once he realized I was gone. "Lily!" I called out as she walked down the hall, but she didn't respond. "Just let her go," Marcus said. I ignored him and ran after Lily. She didn't seem to recognize me. Instead, she just walked towards the exit. By then, several students had gathered in the hallway, simply staring out the window into the emptiness that lay behind. "Lily, what are you doing?" She turned to me for just a second. "I'm leaving." With that, she opened the door and walked into the void outside. No sooner her body touched the darkness before she started falling apart. Her skin dried out and disintegrated, leaving her flesh and organs exposed. She let out a silent sigh and fell apart on the floor. All that remained was a mangled, unrecognizable mess that had once been my best friend. In shock, I stared at her remains, my attention slowly drifting to the void beyond. Marcus swiftly grabbed me from behind and pulled me away from the door. "Don't fucking look outside," he said as he slapped me out of the shock. She's. She's. She's dead, and you'll be too, unless you listen to me. You stare out there for more than a few seconds, it'll get you too. We need to find somewhere safe to hold up until help arrives. The cafeteria, it's empty this time of day, I suggested, still in shock. Without hesitating, we tried to make our way there. As we turned to the corner, we found Mr. Crawford standing in the hallway. As he noticed us passing by, he grabbed Marcus's shoulder and pushed him towards one of the windows. "Just look outside, it's so beautiful," he said with a monotonous voice. "Let me go," Marcus yelled. I tried to pull him free, but it was too late. He quickly lost all of his emotions in his voice and joined the others. In the blink of an eye, his consciousness had vanished. In panic, I ran for the cafeteria. Once there, I made a makeshift barricade and collapsed to the floor in despair. I sat there helplessly, mourning the loss of my friends and classmates. All the while, the students and teachers kept knocking on the doors, begging me to look outside. Just look through the window. It's so beautiful. Without a phone to call for help, I can't say how much time has passed. For all I know, it's been months since the world vanished. Food has all but run out, or spoiled beyond edibility. These will be my final words, written in a notebook someone left behind. I can only pray that someone finds it, however long it takes. I don't want my death to be a mystery. It's time to look outside. Finally, I'll see the beauty of the world.